Did the Bucks doom their championship squad by adding a rookie head coach? Will veteran superstars Giannis and Dame Lillard overwhelm new coach Adrian Griffin? Where did Griffin come from, and why did Jimmy Butler say he dislikes him? To find out, we have to go back. Here is the Adrian Griffin story. Griffin was born on the 4th of July, 1974, in the college basketball town of Wichita, Kansas, home of the Wichita State Shockers and 2 hours southwest of basketball juggernaut Kansas Jayhawks. Raised by his hardworking mother and pastor father, Adrian excelled in basketball and led Wichita East High to a 6A state championship in 1992.
Winning that state and holding that trophy up and seeing my mom and my dad in the stands, man, it still chokes me up sometimes. Cause my dad was so proud that day, and I wanted to make him proud. And to do it at Wichita State, that's where the state championships were that year, and in front of the hometown, man, that was so special.
It feels great. I never felt like this before. I guess it's one lifetime opportunity.
Griffin would join Seton Hall on a basketball scholarship under coaching legend PJ Carlesimo. There he would average 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists in the Big East, winning the prestigious Haggerty Award, joining previous winners and New York basketball legends Chris Mullin, Mark Jackson, and Ron Artest. In a loaded 1996 draft that included Kobe, Iverson, and Steve Nash, Griffin was not selected. Griffin would say, "I was sitting alone at around midnight. My father entered the room and offered to go for a drive. After meandering the streets of Wichita for half an hour in silence, my father spontaneously said, 'Son, don't give up on your dream. God told me you're going to make the NBA.'" Griffin would play in Italy and the Continental Basketball Association, where he played on teams such as the Long Island Surf, Connecticut Pride, and the Atlantic City Seagulls. During his 3 years, he would be named the CBA MVP, make the CBA championship, and earn the finals most valuable player. He would also make a name for himself on the defensive end, earning first team all-defensive team. He even modeled his game after NBA legend Scottie Pippen. Adrian would get his first taste of the NBA in the 99-2000 season with the Boston Celtics.
My welcome to the NBA moment was, I was with the Celtics, obviously, and our season opener was actually here against the Toronto Raptors. And Rick Pitino called me in his office and he said, "Hey, you had a really good camp, but unfortunately we can't find minutes for you. You're probably not going to play for the season, but just stay ready." And I was just happy to be in the NBA at this time. So game day, I'm getting my 2-hour nap. My hotel room rang a couple times. I picked it up, and it's Rick Pitino. And he said, "Hey, this is Pitino. Just want to let you know you're starting tonight, and you got Vince Carter." I don't know. I blocked the shot. He was still really good, but I think as long as we got the win, that was the most important thing.
He would go on to averaging 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 1.6 steals a game. Rick Pitino repeatedly called the 25-year-old rookie his favorite player, saying, "Adrian Griffin has no ego. He may be the most humble player in the NBA." Griffin would earn many nicknames during his playing days based on his style of play. Griffin recalled that Celtics legend John Havlicek said, "You could have played back in the day with your toughness." One of Griffin's best NBA career highlights would be starting alongside Dirk Nowitzki in the 2005 finals against Shaq, Wade, and the Miami Heat. Griffin's mom would miss his first finals game as she fulfilled her promise to graduate from high school. Adrian didn't mind, saying, "Some people grow up thinking life is supposed to be perfect. My parents taught us that life is tough sometimes, and there's a lot of setbacks. You have to pick yourself up and kind of persevere through a lot of things if you want something." Griffin would bounce around to multiple teams before finishing his career in 2008. As Griffin tells it, in his final season as a player, his head coach on the Chicago Bulls, Scott Skiles, loved how Griffin mentored the team's younger players. "When you retire, I've got a job for you," Skiles told Griffin. Skiles left Chicago to coach the Bucks, and in 2008, Adrian would join him via trade. But before the 2008-2009 season, Skiles called Griffin to let him know he didn't make the cut. During that same phone call, Skiles offered Griffin a job on the coaching staff. Griffin accepted and would work under Skiles the next 2 years. Next, he would join Tom Thibodeau in Chicago for 5 years. Here, he would gain strong praise from players like Jimmy Butler.
What assistant coaches and teammates really helped you that year kind of adapt?
I think Adrian Griffin had a lot because he had to deal with me just being unbearable because I was a rookie and I wanted to play. So I beat him one-on-one a lot my rookie year, and he can't beat me to this day. But I think he has a lot to do with who I am.
During this stretch, he would also coach for Team USA in the FIBA World Cup in 2014, a team that featured players including Stephen Curry, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving. Griffin would further his assistant journey, joining the Orlando Magic in 2015, the OKC Thunder in 2016, and then the Toronto Raptors in 2018. He would settle in Toronto, proving instrumental under Nick Nurse, helping lead the Raptors to the 2019 championship, defeating the Golden State Warriors in 6 games. Griffin would get his first chance to be an acting head coach for the final game of the 2021-2022 season against the Knicks. During his spare time, Griffin would earn his doctoral degree in organizational leadership from Concordia University. His dissertation was on how active NBA assistant coaches experience stressors, coping strategies, and interventions in a competitive sports environment. In doing so, he became one of 3 NBA coaches ever to receive a doctoral degree, joining Nick Nurse and Jack Ramsey, who both led their teams to championships.
I just want him to see that, sometimes as a parent, you got to practice what you preach, and I'm always preaching to my kids, but I wanted to show them that, when you set your mind to do something, and never give up on your dreams.
Griffin would also see extreme success with his own children playing at a high level. His daughter would play at powerhouse UConn, another son would play for Illinois, and his youngest played for Duke and was drafted in the first round by the Atlanta Hawks.
16th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select A.J. Griffin from Duke University.
A.J. Griffin headed to Atlanta.
It's like a bond like no other, where you're able to, go to him for anything, and it's also give you that advice on how you get better, how you handle yourself as a man, and just be able to, continue to grow. And he's been there. And it's just amazing to have someone like that just go to whenever you need someone to talk to. Yeah, I talk to him pretty much after every game. But so I'll ask him what can I do better? It doesn't matter if I play good or bad, because he always tells me you got to continue to build those habits of getting better, because that's what the greats do, and he's just giving me all those tips.
Griffin had the following to say: as a father, the number one thing that you're most concerned about is that your children are good people. Are you raising young adults who will be able to contribute to society in a positive way? I think that was the first thing that I ever wanted for my kids, and then the sports is just the icing on the cake. Following the 2023 season, Adrian Griffin was being recruited as a head coach across the league, with people in Toronto saying, Adrian Griffin is well liked by everyone in the organization, especially by the players, past and present. When he talks, you can tell the sincerity of his words. That's why even though it's a small sample size, it's not a surprise that the players, from starters to the bench, played harder for him than Nick Nurse. Later that year, AG was hired by the Milwaukee Bucks to replace longtime coach Mike Budenholzer.
Almost a decade worth of playing experience, playing with great players, playing for great coaches. It was clear to us that Adrian was the right hire. So, without further ado, it's my absolute honor to introduce Adrian Griffin as a head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Thank you, John. I'm super excited about the opportunity. I've waited a long time for this, so I'm just excited to get to work.
Many believe his relationship building and strong faith would fit in with Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Jrue Holiday, who are all open about their faith. But during the 2023 offseason, after Giannis told the New York Times he needed to seek commitment to winning by the front office for him to stay in Milwaukee, the Bucks saw an opportunity and traded Jrue Holiday and Grayson Allen for superstar Damian Lillard. Vegas immediately made them the favorites to win the championship. The news shocked the NBA, including Jimmy Butler, who said he was happy for Griffin and Dame, but joked that he didn't like Griffin anymore. Despite the league optimism, it is unclear how Griffin will handle the championship pressure and being a head coach for the first time. Adrian Griffin continues to embrace the pressure and says he's ready to put his head down and work to bring a championship to Milwaukee. In the world of basketball, Adrian Griffin's debut as a head coach is a masterclass in resilience, leadership, and perseverance. Only time will tell if he's ready for this moment and to lead the Bucks to a championship. Thanks for watching.